Hi everybody, I'm Paige and you are here at my channel at Paperbacks and Lattes, and today I will be telling you the books that I plan to read for December. So I know that we are already in December, so big fail on my part for not posting this earlier. Things have just been crazy lately, but I wanted to go ahead and let you know what my reading plans are for December. So this is a readathon TBR plus my regular December TBR. So I wanted just to make it into one video. I am participating in the Romance Takeover readathon. This takes place from November 29th to December 11th, and the hosts are Bree, Tamika, Jen, Izzy, Bethany, and Nicole. And of course I'll have all their channels linked below, so go check their channels out. They'll have all the information. Subscribe to them. They also are posting a lot on Instagram, so go make sure you're following them on Instagram as well. So this is a readathon that you kind of like design yourself. They give you prompts that you can choose to make your own bingo board, or you can choose prompts that you want to read. Or as one of the hosts, Bree, she just picked 9 different books that she wanted to read. So I made my own bingo board. So I have 9 like tropes that I want to read. The first one is sport romance. The second one is fantasy romance. The third is LGBTQ plus romance. The fourth one is second chance romance. The fifth one is a sequel in a romance series. The sixth is a reverse harem romance. The seventh is a plus size romance. Eighth is a love triangle romance, and the ninth is an age gap romance. So I chose 9 tropes that I want to read, and then I chose 9 books that one is for each trope. So the first one I have is Occulty by Mariana Zapata. This is a sports romance, and it is, I don't really know too much about it except for they play soccer, and that's really all I know about it. I have not really delved into the synopsis too deep, because I do like to tend to read my books without knowing a whole lot. And I know this book, everybody loves it so much, and I've been meaning to read more of, you know, my favorite authors backlist, and so that's what I'm trying to do. So the first one I have is Occulty by Mariana Zapata. The second one is Serpent Dove by Shelby, I don't even know how to say her last name, Maharin, I want to say. This will qualify for the fantasy romance. I have heard so many great things about this book and the series, so I'm trying to, the books that I chose for this readathon are pretty much like really big books known in the romance community that I still haven't read, that I want to read before the end of the year. So that's kind of why I chose these ones. But that will be Serpent Dove for the fantasy. And then the third one is The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. This goes for LGBTQ plus. This is a male romance where there's like fantasy involved, because this caretaker is he takes care of these children with like special kind of abilities, and the other guy, the other hero in the story, like I guess he comes to see like how the orphanage is doing or whatever, and it's their romance. So I know everybody who has read this book has absolutely loved it. And the next one is Behind the Bars by Brittany C. Cherry. I know Bree from In Love and Words loved this book. I've loved every book I've read by Brittany C. Cherry so far, so I'm really looking forward to reading another one by her. This has to do with a musician. I think it's set in New Orleans, if I'm not mistaken, and this is a second chance love story because they know each other. I'm not sure if it's when they're children or if they're teens, you know, early on in life. And then I think they're apart for some time and they come back together. So really looking forward to reading Behind the Bars by Brittany C. Cherry. The next one is Captain by Lauren Rowe. This is the second book in the Morgan Brothers series. I've read the first one, which was Hero, and I absolutely loved it. And I've wanted to continue on in the series, and I don't know why I haven't yet. It has been on a TBR before, but I just never got around to reading it. I love the Morgan family so much. I was introduced to them in the first book, and that is such a such a great family, and I really want to continue on in the series. So this will be for the sequel in a romance series prompt. The next one is Victory at Prescott High by C.M. Stunage. This is for the reverse harem romance prompt. This is the fifth book. Fifth or sixth, but I'm pretty sure it's fifth book in the Havoc Boy series. I have read each one as they've come out. I really like the series, so this releases on November 30th. So we're in December now, so it is released and I am currently reading it. But definitely want to get that read for a reverse harem. The next one is Spoiler Alert by Olivia Dade. I know Jess from Peace Love Books had just recently read this and absolutely loved it. It is for plus size romance. I have not read, I think I've only read like one, and it was a novella. I really want to read more plus size romances, and so I'm really glad that this one is available. And from what I hear about it, it is I'm not sure what the heroine does, but the hero I think is an actor and type of like a show, type of like Game of Thrones show, and this is their romance, so I'm looking forward to reading it as well. The next one is The Story of Us by Leslie Jones. This is the love triangle romance. I know nothing about this book. I just know that it is a love triangle. It sounded interesting when I read the synopsis. I don't even remember what the synopsis is, except that it's a love triangle. So we'll just go blind into it. And then the final book for the Romance Takeover Readathon is Grayson by Lisa Eugene. This is an age gap romance, and again, I don't know anything about it. I forgot the synopsis where I just briefly looked over it. It sounded good. It was an age gap, so I chose it. So those are all the books that I have for the Romance Takeover Readathon. But I did want to just choose 9 books for the month of December because I knew that I can probably read more than that. So I just chose 5 more. And the first one is Dead Men Walking by Gianna Darling. This releases on December 28th, and this is the 6th or 7th book in the Fallen Men series. It's a motorcycle club series. It's probably my favorite motorcycle club series. All of them are age gaps. The first one is to do with the son, King. The second is the father, Zeus. The third is the daughter, Harley Rose. And then the other books continue on with the members of the motorcycle club. Gianna Darling writes really good motorcycle club romances, and so I cannot wait to read the new one. And then I want to read Lilac by B.B. Reed. This is a rock star reverse harem book. I have been wanting to read this for forever. I had put it on a TBR a few months ago, not realizing that it wasn't already published. And so it is coming out, I think, on December 7th. So I am really looking forward to reading this book. I know Melissa from She Is an Open Book just read this and absolutely loved it. So I'm looking forward to reading it as well. Then I want to read Layla by Colleen Hoover. This is her newest release. I think it releases on December 8th, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's a love triangle. From what I could tell from the synopsis that I briefly read was the hero and heroine fell in love with each other, and then they had troubles, or they were falling out of love, so he decided to take her back where it all started, and then I think he meets somebody else. So that is pretty much the gist of what I know about it, but it's a Colleen Hoover book, so of course it's an automatic read from one of my favorite authors. The next one is Lies and Lullabies by Serena Bowen. The first time I saw the cover, I knew I wanted to read it just by the cover alone. The cover looks so awesome, and I really don't know much about it, except I think there is it's either a surprise pregnancy or an accidental pregnancy, and I think it's a rock star romance, because I'm pretty sure I think there's 3 books in the series, and they're all written by different authors, and I think they're all revolving around rock stars, if I'm not mistaken. I know Crystal from Crystal's Bookish Life read this, and I believe she enjoyed it. But I've been wanting to read it, so I figured December would be perfect. The last book I have on my December TBR is A Holiday Temptation by Tiffany Patterson. I recently watched Bree's Christmas novella reading vlog, and she read this book, and it is more of a hard-hitting Christmas read, and I'm more into hard-hitting emotional books. I'm not really a rom-com type of reader. I like the more emotional, gritty, just deep, you know, subjects. And I do enjoy lighthearted, funny, fluffy reads, but usually I need more in a book, in the story. So when I found out that she said that this is a Christmas book and it's more of an emotional read, I was like, yes, sign me up. So I'm going to read this for December, and it is actually my only Christmas book on my list. But maybe I'll get a few more Christmas books read in December. But that is officially my December TBR. Let me know what you plan to read for December, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.